grab your kids and gather around the internet for your weekly injection of truth. Prepare to have your world rocked with Steve Duplantis and Rock the World!
Good evening, and welcome to Your Voice of Sanity, the Wednesday night live stream of Rock the World, your Wednesday night alternative to church. My name is Steve Duplantis. I want to welcome you again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff always going on. Let me see if I can get situated here. See what's going on. A couple of people online. Everything looks like it's running good. Got audio. Got everything. Seems like we're all right. We can move ahead. The song you were listening to in the beginning, I don't know if you heard it during the countdown. Of course, I use my own music on this platform because I don't want to be accused of copyright infringement or stealing stuff or whatever. So I use my own music because the first few times that last year when I started doing live streaming, I was using other people's music, and I would get these warnings coming up saying, you don't have permission to use this song or whatever it is. And I decided, well, go ahead and use my own music. That way I give myself permission to use my own music. So that song you heard in the beginning, if you guys have ever heard of Lil Nas is the guy that's making the Satan shoes or something like that. Well, last year, I believe it was, he had a song out called Old Town Road, and it was like a rap type, country type stuff, and it became like #1 in the country. I mean, crazy, pretty lame tune, but I mean, nevertheless, it was kind of a novel idea because he was intertwining country and rap. And the song in the beginning you heard there is called "Rockin' Man," right? Rockin', not rocket, like a shh, not rocket, but like rockin', like somebody who rock and rolls, right? Was written by my friend Rocky LaCicero and I, the original Rocky Man. This was written, we wrote this early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, I guess it was when we were doing, and I kind of revamped it, right? And the beginning of it, there's like the actual recording of the song that we did. And it was a country rap song. So we were doing country rap before Lil Nas was born. So I don't give him credit for anything. He probably heard our stuff and stole it himself, But I kind of revamped it last year, and because during the COVID lockdowns, it was a lot of time to do like absolutely nothing or crazy things. So I took a lot of old songs and revamped, and that was one of them. And that's actually available on iTunes. You want to go out and buy it? If you just want it, I'll zip you an MP3 file of it. Because I'm not looking to make money off of stuff, man. I just want to bless people. If you like it, I send it to you. If you don't, well, you don't have to listen to it. That's how it goes. But anyway, that's why I use the original music, because I don't want to be accused of stealing somebody's property. So it's my own property. And hope you enjoy it. Just like this video, this is me. This is all my stuff. Rock the World. I don't steal nothing. I just steal the videos and stuff that I use to give you the fodder that we can talk about. And speaking of fodder, I want to go ahead and give a plug here to my son, Nick Duplantis, creative. He's the guy who does the logos. He's the guy who does the videos. He's the guy who does just about anything artistically that you would like to get done. And like I said last week, I invite you, if you want to start a live stream, and you want to have a graphic, kind of like, wait, let me see if I can get it right, because the green screen's still messing me up. Right there. No, right here. There it is, right here. Yeah, see? It's kind of like over here. There it is. Like, ooh, look at that, man. Got my hands like I'm holding it in my hand. He came up with that. It says live stream, Your Voice of Sanity, established in 2001, I believe it was, when I got that vision. But anyway, Nick did that, okay? Nick did that. Nick Duplantis Creative, Nick Duplantis Graphics. He does all that stuff. So if you want to start a live stream, contact him at nickduplantis.com, and he will come up with a logo for you, cool logo like that. You got to pay for it now, mind you. He's got a family. He's got stuff he's got to pay for. He's got to do stuff. In fact, he's in transition right now to where'd y'all learn that? Where'd he learn all that? Oh man, you see Jacob? Jacob's watching right now. See, Nick actually learned a lot of that stuff through Jacob. Jacob's awesome. In fact, Jacob recorded a lot of my songs. He made me sound good when I sound horrible. And Nick actually interned with Jacob in Los Angeles when he was living down there. That's where Nick honed his craft, and that's where he learned. He learned from the best, man. I mean, Jacob. If you think Nick was good, Jacob's like, I mean, he's the sensei. You know, speaking of sensei, Cobra Kai, bro. He was the original sensei. Jacob. So props to Jacob. So are you using OBS? Yes, I'm still using OBS. If you have another platform, I would like to know it. Because I don't know anything else. This is all I know. You know, I did learn how to use the green screen. You see that? I have Jacob. I have a city line of New Orleans back there because that's where my start. That's where I began. That's where my roots are. So I decided to use that, and So if you want graphics, and if I don't even know if Jacob does it, man. Jacob's involved in government now, so I don't think he does graphics anymore, just for his own personal pleasure, I believe, not for monetary purposes. But Nick will do you good. He will do you smooth and mellow graphics. That's what I like to call it, smooth and mellow. You know, again, I said Nick Duplantis Creative. That's our sponsor. You go to the website, mention my name, the BOC, you get 20% off of your order. And that's a deal. That is a deal. So moving along, we're talking about Nick. Let's continue to talk about Nick. Nick right now is in Canada, along with his wife, not my son-in-law, my goodness, my daughter-in-law. Why did I say son-in-law? That's weird. My daughter-in-law in Red Deer, Canada, along with my grandson also. They're there for a few weeks, visiting Jessica's mom, Michelle, and her sister, Catherine, and brother, Dylan, and soon-to-be wife, Dylan's wife, Maggie, is out there too, and a lot of her friends. She's doing that. Well, she's been on quarantine, both of them, for the last 2 weeks. And this 2 weeks. I'm going to read this post from a friend of hers. All right, I'm not going to mention names, but I got the post. I'm going to read it. And she's talking about Jess and Nick and Asher. A Canadian friend just returned to Red Deer, Alberta, from living in the U.S. with her American husband and 6-month-old baby. She is quarantining in her mom's, and the RCMP, that's the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, have come every day to check up on her compliance. You know, those same RCMP that don't show up when there's a trespasser on your property. It sounds like America. The same ones who don't show up after your trailer and $15,000 worth of tools were stolen. Yeah, awesome use of taxpayer dollars goes out to our federal government for this disgusting use of our law enforcement. Daily checking in on a young, healthy family with just a 6-month-old baby. No criminal background, no crimes, just a family who drove across an imaginary line from Alaska. This is Canada. Now, you got to understand, they love their country just like we do, right? And that's kind of hard to believe because Canada just seems like so, like, how could anybody love it because it's so liberal? But, man, you know, there are people there that are liberty lovers, and this is one of them, you know. And I look forward to meeting her one day. Let's see. This is Canada, where actual criminals, murderers, rapists, thieves, criminals who have shot cops, who pose actual risk to society, run amok with literally no one tracking or caring, with basically all the rights protecting them. The law-abiding, tax-paying citizens are the ones tracked and checked on daily, treated like a public risk, negative COVID test and all. Welcome to Canada. This is disgust I feel for this country just continues to grow. Now, mind you, Jessica was considered a high risk when she crossed the border, when she came through. and why she was a high risk, I have no idea. Maybe because she's related to me. I don't know, because that would not be too good. But anyway, edit. I should mention that this is not an attack on the individual Royal Canadian Mounted Police who have come to check on her. The issue is a broken system with our government is misusing our public servants, and that's the truth. They're doing it here too, doing it here. I do wish the police would refuse to basically do anything regarding COVID. Yes, 100%, but that's a lot of people standing up at once against the government, and a lot to ask those actually employed by the government. When private businesses barely will stand up for their rights and freedoms, how can we expect employees to do the same? Now, we're running into that problem right now. Here in Anchorage, I had something happen last week. Demita and I went to coffee shop to get some coffee, and waited in line, and then finally got up there, and I didn't have a mask on because the store we never wear masks when we go in these stores. I can't wear it. Because I can't breathe. Can't breathe. That's a medical condition. Because if I can't breathe with something on, that affects my medical condition. So anyway, we went to order the coffee, and the girl behind the counter was like, I can't serve you unless you have a mask on. She said, do you have a mask? I said, yes, and I pulled it out, and I said, but I'm not putting it on, and I put it back into my pocket. And she said, well, I can't serve you. And I said, well, why not? She said, well, it's company policy. I said, can I see the policy, please? She said, she looked around and she said, I don't have it here. And I said, well, you got to have it somewhere. Could I see that policy? And then she left and went and talked to her manager, and I saw them looking online trying to find the policy, and they couldn't. She was gone for a couple of minutes, and then she came back and she said, well, we can't find it, so I'll go ahead and serve you. Well, chalk up one for the win right there. All right, and I got chastised because I was giving grief to an employee. And just like this girl said in this thing, that she doesn't blame the police department because they're just basically doing their job. And I hear a lot of that excuses coming from a lot of people. Well, they're just doing their job. They're just doing a job. Now, do you realize that the SS during Nazi Germany were just doing their job? Because somebody had to enforce what was going on. Now, you see, I will never come face to face probably with that CEO of that coffee place, because he or she will never be in that area serving the customers, because they're making all the big decisions, just like Joe Biden and everybody else will never come in contact with these people. So we have to deal with the people that have been designated to carry out whatever said policy is. Okay, so that's the person I have to stand up to. I don't care if they're a 17-year-old girl or if they're a 50-year-old Marine Corps veteran. I don't care who they are. They're the ones that are implemented. They're the ones that are infringing on my rights. So you are not going to infringe upon my rights. I don't care what your policy says. You're not going to infringe upon them. Now I'm going to we're going to talk about some stuff going on here as we go further here, because it all has to do with this mandate, the mask wearing, the stuff that's happening right now. Okay, because guys, if we don't stand up for this, it's going to turn into something that we don't want it to turn into, and we have to stand up now while we still got the ability to. My daughter-in-law was asking me about how. I said, we have to fight. We have to fight. My daughter-in-law was asking me, Jessica, she was asking me, how do we fight? I said, read about Rosa Parks, right? Rosa Parks. And come to find out, I didn't know this about Rosa Parks. And if you did, that's awesome. But I didn't know this, that when she got on that bus and she was tired from work, she was actually sitting in her section. She didn't sit in the white section of the bus. She was sitting in the black section. It was the bus that got filled with white people, and a white guy didn't have a place to sit. So the bus driver was going to make her get out of her own seat that was designated for her and let the white guy sit there. And she said no, and she was arrested for it. So that's the deal. She was willing to go to jail to stand for something that was rightfully hers. It wasn't that she was trying to usurp on somebody else's right. It was her own right. She was standing up for it, and she went to jail for it. But she got the ball rolling, because that was in 1955. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed. And it took almost 10 years for that to happen. All right. She was arrested several times. She's the one that got Martin Luther King involved in that bus, the boycott, because they boycotted, because it was, I want to say it was 75% of the riders in that Alabama city where she was at were black that would ride the bus. So when they boycotted that, they lost money. So you see, guys, when you boycott something, it works. All right, you get the idea. So when I said fight, I don't mean go grabbing guns and start shooting up people. No, you fight, and you fight where it hurts, and it hurts in the pocketbook. That's where it hurts these companies. That's where it hurts these people. So if this girl that I came up against last week would have said, I can't serve you, and I said, well, all right, well, I will never, you just lost a loyal customer. I will never set foot in here again. And then here I am the next week. And am I saying the name? No, I'm not, but I'll go ahead and say it was Kaladi Brothers. You know, and Kaladi Brothers they have a lot of stores around here. Now, but you go out in the valley, they don't do that stuff. It's just in Anchorage, because the way Anchorage is being run right now. Speaking of Anchorage, we just had the election, mayor election. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, that was my point about we have to fight. Rosa Parks, a hero. I mean, she's one of the most favorite people in history. I look up to her because of what she did. She stood for what she believed, and she went to jail for it. We have to be willing to do that, because the masks are just the start of it, guys. It's the vaccine next, and then you won't be able, don't tell me that the company says it's a policy, you have to wear a mask in here. No, because you see, the Civil Rights Act was passed to prevent discrimination against people of color, basically. All right. And then the ADA was passed in the 90s, which added on to that people with physical disabilities or medical disabilities cannot be discriminated against either. All right. That's where we're at right now, because a mask is a medical tool. It's a medical device. No one, not even a doctor, can mandate that for you. It's a choice that you have for a medical thing. The government can't do that, right? And people who want to say that, well, it's company policy, they can do what they want. Okay, well, the bus company back in the 50s designated that the back seats were for black people. All right. They also had separate water fountains, and it was the government that was mandating that, not the businesses. It was the government. Today, it's the other way around. It's like you're giving the business the opportunity. Okay, they have the right to do this. Well, yeah, they may have the right to do it, but they don't have the right to discriminate you while they're doing it, and that you can fight. All right, because you go into a store, because they have to provide you equal access to the products that you're going there to buy, that they would supply for a normal person. All right, somebody who is wearing a mask, and you can't tell me that curbside service is equal. It's not. It's less than, because if I call up and order a bunch of bananas, how do I know if I'm going to get green bananas or if I'm going to get brown ones? I can't pick them out. That's not equal. How do I know if the shirt that I want to buy is going to fit me? How do I know I'm not allergic to the cotton or the material that it's made from? How do I know the shoe is going to fit right? How do I know that this is the right size? It's not equal. So everything they're doing across the board is wrong. All right. It's illegal and against the law. And until we stand up for it, but nobody wants to stand up for it. I just want to go in here and get my eggs I don't want to cause any trouble. No, I want to let me cause the trouble. Okay. I'll do it. All right. We went into Bass Pro Shop. You have a mask mandate. All right. According to city ordinance. Well, on their website, it says customers at this time are not required to wear masks unless designated by the local authorities. Okay. Anchorage says that they have the right to throw us out, provided it lines up with the ADA. Right? Which, in other words, they're saying they have the right to throw us out, but you really don't, because the ADA says you can't. All right, so that's an out. That's a loophole for them to leave for the muni. That's a loophole for them to be off the hook when I take Bass Pro to court for discrimination. Well, the city said I had that we could throw him out. Oh yeah, but it says according to the ADA, and he's got to, and you did it. We got to wash our hands in it. You on the hook for that one, man. People don't think, man. They don't think. So we go to Bass Pro. Nobody in there. Nobody says anything about a mask. My wife and I walking around, no mask on at all. We go to Cabela's. Mind you, it's the same company. Same company. Same stuff on their website. As soon as we walk in there, guy says, "How you doing?" "I'm doing good." And I walk off. He goes, "Oh, sir, you have to have a mask." And I said, "No, I don't." I said, "Neither does my wife." And we just walked off. And that was it. Nobody did anything after that. Nobody did anything. So if you just stand up to it, guys, if you just stand up to it, I'm going to get into all this stuff right now. Right now, this is something I'm going to start tonight. This is called the retarded tweet of the week. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and put this one out. Check this out. This is from United Airlines. Our flight deck should reflect the diverse group of people on board our planes every day. That's why we plan for 50% of the 5,000 pilots we train in the next decade to be women or people of color. Learn more and apply now. Ufly.co, United Aviation, United Airlines. All right, so the next decade, 50% of the 5,000 pilots that we train will be women or people of color. It doesn't say anything about having the intelligence to fly a freaking airplane, does it? No, it doesn't. Man, I could care less the color of the pilot. I mean, you could probably, do you know monkeys used to fly the rocket ships? They used to put the monkeys in space. They could teach them how to do the things. Is that why don't we just put monkeys in there too? We'll just so because we're infringing upon the rights of the monkeys. They should be able to fly too, right? Josh, what's up, man? We had the same problem with Alaska Airlines being inconsistent with their dumb policies. Yeah, dumb. I mean, this is the dumb. This is like I said, the retarded tweet of the week. They're going to become a woke company and hire 50% women and people of color. All right? I'm all for that. But make sure they're intelligent enough to fly an airplane. Might want to do that, United. The next thing we're going to go into, check this out. All right? So this has to do with masks again. All right? I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then I'll talk about it afterwards.
At least 90% of all adults in this country will be eligible to be vaccinated by April the 19th, just 3 weeks from now, because we have the vaccines. I'm reiterating my call for every governor, mayor, and local leader to maintain and reinstate the mask mandate. Please, this is not politics. Reinstate the mandate if you let it down.
You're a moron.
And business should require masks as well. The failure to take this virus seriously, precisely what got us in this mess in the first place, risks more cases and more deaths. Look, as I do my part to accelerate the vaccine distribution and vaccinations, I need the American people to do their part as well. Mask up. Mask up. It's a patriotic duty. We could still see a setback in the vaccination program. And most importantly, if we let our guard down now, we could see a virus getting worse, not better. And sadly, some of the reckless behavior we've seen on television over the past few weeks means that more new cases are to come in the weeks ahead. With vaccines, there's hope, which is a very good thing, to state the obvious. But people are letting up on precautions, which is a very bad thing. Look, to this point, cases have fallen 2/3 since I took office. Deaths have also fallen 2/3. But now cases are going back up. In some states, deaths are as well. You know, we're giving up hard-fought, hard-won gains. And as much as we're doing, America, it's time to do even more. All of us have to do our part, every one of us. Now's not the time to let down. Now's not the time to celebrate. It is time to do what we do best as a country, our duty, our jobs, take care of one another, and fight this to the finish. We can and will do this, but don't let up now. Don't let up now. Thank you, and may God protect our troops. Thank you very much.
And Dr. Walensky said she's scared of an impending.
The only duty around here is the duty that's coming out of his mouth. Freaking. It's like. I thought that Obama's voice, like, irritated me. This guy, I can't. I can't. It's almost like an enema. Whenever I hear him talk, I have this uncontrollable urge to go defecate in the bathroom, because it's like a cleansing. It wants to come out. He's just so full of it. It just comes through me. Mask up. Mandate the mask again. He's imploring the governors, the people that want their states to open up and start making money again. He's imploring them to stop. No, we don't want to do that. No, keep the fear going. The deaths are going back up. Well, he said desks. Yeah, there's deaths. You can't even talk, man. You can't even talk. The guy's like, it's like there's stuff in his mouth or something. Maybe his dentures are falling out. I have no idea what the heck's going on. You know? Don't listen to this foolishness, all right? Because this guy's an illegitimate president. He's not supposed to be there. So you know how we went 4 years at the anti-Trumpers and Trump's not my president? Well, guess what? Biden's not mine. I don't listen to him. He says, wear a mask. No, I'm going to do the opposite, all right? Whatever he says to do, I'm going to do the opposite, because he has no clue on anything, right? I have no compassion for this man right now, because I said last week that he is displaying the same symptoms that my mom was displaying when she was coming down with Alzheimer's. All right, but this is a wicked man, and there are people that are even more wicked that are allowing him to be in that position. So why should we even listen to him? All right. So this is actually a reason why we're getting the heck out of Alaska, dude. I see a storm coming to this place here. After the election today, and seeing that people are voting in leftist liberal agendas, either they're voting them in or the election's rigged. I have no idea what's going on. But Anchorage will become Seattle 2.0. All right, it's already there, but we're definitely, after this election, we're going. We just got down to the jungle primary. So that, in other words, the top two mayoral candidates are going to a runoff in May. All right, and you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. The conservative guy is not going to win. I hate to say this, guys. I really do. For all you people that want Dave Bronson to win, he's not. That's not part of the agenda. Dave Bronson is not part of the agenda. He's like the Donald Trump was. You know, it was only by a fluke that Trump got elected, because the election wasn't rigged back then. This is a total mail-in election that Anchorage goes through. All right, we're getting updates every day. Yesterday they stopped counting at 11 o'clock. Last night, stopped counting the votes. Didn't get an update until 5 o'clock today, and they announced that every day they're going to give us an update at 5 o'clock on counting. Now, you mean to tell me that previous elections found out the winners by midnight the night of the election, and we can't figure that out now? No, because they don't have enough ballots to cover their butts right now. They have to print some more. They have to find them. I have no idea what the heck they have to do. But that's the reason why that I see this going down it's going down the tubes, y'all. It's going down the tubes. So this is where we're at with this. All right. Either we stand up, or like Rosa Parks did, we sit down and not get up. All right. We have to take our stand. It's the only way I can put it. We have to become firm in what we believe. Either we're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna go with this and then let it go where it may, or we're gonna fight it. And that's the way to fight it. And if we do it in numbers, they can't stop us. They can't stop us. We're not doing violence. Rosa Parks didn't do violence. Martin Luther King didn't do violence. But what did they get done? You know? But the very thing that they worked for is now being undone today because we're allowing it to be undone. Because we're allowing it to be undone. We can't. We have to fight for it. And then let's segue into that as Christians, okay? As Christians, we should be doing even more. All right? But the church has completely become impotent and limp. I mean, gosh, guys, if you knew the story going on with me right now with the Assemblies of God, it would make your head swim. And as soon as it's done, it's going to come out in the open. All right, it's going to come out. Either I'm going to come out or whatever. I don't know how it's going to be, but God's going to reveal. He's going to shine a light in the darkness here. All right, because if you hadn't heard that my credentials were pulled from me from the Assemblies of God, and because I question leadership. I was also told that ecclesiastical processes are not to be given out in public. Well, I don't know where that's a biblical point at all. In fact, Jesus was very public about the things that he did with the church. And so yeah, it would turn your head, all right. But when I wrote the letter originally a year ago, I knew this was going to happen. I was willing to go through it, and I want to play this. If you guys have never heard of Paul Washer, here's your introduction to Paul Washer. This guy is probably one of the greatest men of God that I know, and he's honest and he's in your face, and he's got a message for us. So check it out.
The church in America is going to suffer so terribly. And we laugh now, but they will come after us. They will come after our children. They will close the net around us while we are playing soccer mom and soccer dad, while we are arguing over so many little things and mesmerized by so many trinkets. The net even now is closing around you and your children and your grandchildren, and it does not cause you to fear. You will be isolated from society, as has already happened. Anyone who tries to run for office who actually believes the Bible will be considered a lunatic until finally we are silenced. We will be called things that we're not and persecuted not for being followers of Christ, but for being radical fundamentalists who do not know the true way of Christ, which of course is love and tolerance. You'll go down as the greatest bigots and haters of mankind in history. They've already come after your children, and for most of you, they got them. They got them through the public schools and indoctrination, and the university and indoctrination, and then you wonder why your children come out not serving the Lord. It's because you fed them right into the devil's mouth. So little by little, the net is closing around, and then it's not little by little. Look how fast things are going downhill just in a matter of weeks. Matter of weeks. But at the same time, know this. Persecution is always meant for evil, but God always means it for good. And is it not better to suffer in this life, to have an extra weight of glory in heaven? You must settle this in your mind. This is the one thing I want to say over and over. Do not believe. Down through history, you have a wrong idea of martyrdom and persecution. You think that these men were persecuted and martyred for their sincere faith in Jesus Christ. That was the real reason, but no one heard that publicly. They were martyred, and they were persecuted as enemies of the state, as child molesters, as bigots, as narrow-minded, stupid people who had fallen for a ruse and can contribute nothing to society. Your suffering will not be noble. So your mind must be filled with the Word of God when all people persecute you and turn on you. And if the Spirit of God in common grace pulls back and you see even your children and your grandchildren tossing in the lot that you should die. This is no game. You want revival and awakening, but know this. For the most part, great awakenings have come only preceding great national catastrophes or the persecution of the church. I believe God is bringing a great awakening, but I believe that He is raising up young men who are strong in trust in the providence of God to be able to wade through the hell that's going to break loose on us. And it will be on us before we even recognize it. Unless in God's providence, He is not done. He is not done. Now note, this is not silly talk. Apart from a great awakening, these things are going to come upon you. Be ready to lose your homes, your cars, and everything.
I think he's right. Started preaching that a year ago. That God, I see God shutting down the churches because He's not happy with programs. He's not happy with what's going on. We had a discussion this week at Bible study. And I got to thinking this. When is the last time that you've heard preaching from the Word of God that convicted you so much that you ran to the altar to get right with Him? I haven't heard it in a long time. It's just not preached in church anymore. It's not. The truth, yes, the truth is God loves you. Yes, He does. He loves all of us. For God so loved the world that He sent His one and only Son. All right? But there's also going to be a separation, all right, between the sheep and the goats. And there's also going to, there's wicked people, there's righteous people. Okay? This is biblical truths. All right? Are you ready to lose everything for the sake of Him? I've had a year to think about this. I've already lost my credentials. Not that the credentials are that important, because I don't get ordained. Like Josh said, it's not man that ordains me. It's God. All right? But that's a tactic of the enemy to shut ministry down, to try to shut my mouth so I won't preach this anymore and I won't speak truth anymore. You think that's going to stop me? No, it's not going to stop. I'm going to keep going until Facebook shuts me off, and even after that, Demita just ordered a bullhorn, right? I'll go out in the streets and do it. It doesn't matter, all right? Because when you have this mandate, it's like Ezekiel says, like a fire up in my bones, shut up in my bones. Are you coming in? Anyway, I'm being. Oh, hold on a second. I have a message from the audience. I can't read what that says. You can talk.
Can you see it?
No, I can't. Oh yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, they have my because you see some things I forget to do while I'm on here, but we still got a few minutes for that anyway. But let's see. That's almost a first, because Demita doesn't ever want to come in here and be on the camera, even be anywhere near here. But she's in here, so that was kind of a first. So maybe we can get her to come in a little bit more often, because we get some conversation. That'd be good. But anyway, like Paul Washer said, it wasn't broadcast to anybody that it was the love of Christ why people were getting martyred. all right, with the love of God. It was state stuff. It was like the Jews being gassed, you know. Were they being martyred? I think in a way they were, yes. A lot of them were, because they were devout Jewish people and they loved the Lord, right? But it wasn't that killed them. It was the Nazi laws that came into effect. And dude, our mask, who we got here? You need to get emails so we can communicate that way after Facebook shuts. Yeah, I hear that, man. Stephen Duplantis at gmail.com. STEPHEN Duplantis at gmail.com. But even Gmail will probably be, there's another one. There's a Proton Mail one that you can use that they don't have any control over. But anyway, we're coming to that point. All right. So are you willing to give up stuff? You know, but we have to fight for what we have right now, because we still have the opportunity. God wants us to fight. He wants us to fight, because I want to read this scripture right now. All right. And this scripture is really a tough one to digest when you are a preacher of the love of God and how God loves you, and God doesn't want to, you know, he wants you to come to him as you are. Okay. This is from John, chapter 2. It was nearly time for the Jewish Passover celebration. So Jesus went to Jerusalem. In the temple area, he saw merchants selling cattle, sheep, and doves for sacrifices. He also saw dealers at tables exchanging foreign money. Jesus made a whip. Jesus made a whip from some ropes and chased them all out of the temple. He drove out the sheep and cattle, scattered the money changers, coins all over the floor, turned over their tables. Then going over to the people who sold doves, he told them, "Get these things out of here. Stop turning my Father's house into a marketplace." So Jesus was a little ticked off that this was going on in his church. They had taken his church and turned it into something that it wasn't. All right. When our country here was founded, the First Amendment says that we have the freedom of religion and the freedom of speech. Okay. That was shut down a year ago, and churches got on board with it. Oh, it's safety. It's a safety issue because it's the COVID. We might die. We all might die. So let's shut the churches down. It's a good thing. We'll go online, and we'll do everything online now. All right. So everybody had an online presence. All right. That was the thing I questioned a year ago with my leaders and my senior pastor. That was the thing I questioned. Please reconcile this with me. Okay. How the Bible says one thing and the Constitution says this. How do you reconcile the two of them? Okay? The Bible in Romans 13 says to obey the government. Okay? Providing the government is not doing anything immoral or against their own laws, which they were. Okay? So we were under no obligation to pay attention to our government when they weren't paying attention to their own laws. Because our law in this land is not the highest source of authority in this land is not the president, not Congress, not the Senate, not the Supreme Court. It's the Constitution of the United States. That's the highest law. That's the highest authority in this land. And when our leaders usurp that authority, then we are under no obligation to pay attention to them, as is Joe Biden doing now, which is why I said I'm not listening to him. The second was to forsake the assembly. Hebrews says that. Do not forsake assembling. But yet, we who are Christians believe in the healing power of God, somehow did not believe that he could heal a tiny little virus. So we shut down. And threw the whole thing into chaos. And I'm glad it got shut down. Why? Because it uncovered the cowards, is what it did. It uncovered the freaking cowards of the church. Because now those same people are trying to reopen their churches and go right back to what they were doing when God specifically shut it down for a purpose, because he's tired of it. He's tired of your programs. He's tired of you living off of the gospel. He's tired of you making money off of his word. and putting a nice little nest egg for your retirement off the people of God. He's done with that. All right? And he will bring you down. He will bring you down. Not me. Not the government. He will, because he's pissed. That's why he did what he did. The church got shut down. And now we're moving more towards a more biblical way of how church was. All right? We're doing it on Monday nights and doing a Bible study. Just a few of us get together. And we're becoming a fellowship. We're getting to know one another. We're starting to tick, and we're starting to be one. Right? We're not starting a church. We're just a bunch of believers getting together that want a fellowship. Right? This is where church is headed. The mega church is dying. You heard Paul Washer say it. You know, he didn't specifically say the mega. The mega church was never a biblical concept anyway. We just studied this on Monday night about Jesus when he fed the 5,000. That was a mega church. But what did he do? He immediately split it up. He did not want that to happen. He immediately went in and he got with his 12, and that was the rest of his ministry. Because he saw what would happen with that people would not be there for him. They'd be there for the blessing. I want the food. I want the potluck that's going to be afterwards. You know? Oh man, we get a free freaking screwdriver on Father's Day. Moms get a rose on Mother's Day. Maybe some candy. Get that free, you know, that free socialist church attitude stuff, you know? No. It's about him. Everything's about him. That's what it should be about. So here we have Jesus clearing the temple, and he goes in there and he gets pissed, and he runs them out. All right? So we have the government trying to shut down. The video I'm about to show you is not even from America. It's not even an American pastor. It's a Polish pastor, and he's in Canada, and they're trying to shut his church down. All right? Check this out.
Please get out. Get out of this property. Immediately get out. Get out of this property immediately. Out. I don't want to hear anything. Out of this property immediately. I don't want to hear a word. Out. Out. Out of this property immediately until you come back with a warrant. Out. 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 Out of this property. Immediately out. Immediately go out and don't come back. I don't want to talk to you. Not a word. Out of this property. Immediately out. I don't care what you have to say. Out. Out. Out of this property, you Nazis. Out. Out. Gestapo is not allowed here. Immediately, Gestapo is not allowed. Out! Do you understand English? Get out of this property. Go. So go. Go. And don't come back without the warrant. Out, Nazi. Out. Out. You understand? Nazis are not welcome here. Out. And don't come back without the warrant. Do not come back without the warrant. You understand that? You're not welcome here. Nazis are not welcome here. Gestapo is not welcome here. Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths. Unbelievable, sick, evil people. Intimidating people in a church during the Passover. You Gestapo, Nazi, communists, fascists.
Don't tell me those people, they're just doing their job. Oh, they're just doing their job. They just got friggin' told. That's a pastor right there. I would love to go to his church. I would love to be up under him. He's actually protecting his sheep. Not like these other fools that say, oh, mask up, put your mask on, and sit 6 feet apart, and you wash your hands and do all this other stuff. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. We got kids with the sniffles down there in the children's church. We might want to just shut down the kids' church today and have them all sit up here, and we'll because we want to be safe. We want to be safe. That's what we want to do. Oh, my God. Why don't we have more pastors and people like that in the church? Where are they? Where are you? I have no idea. I don't know, you know, and I don't have a church. I mean, I don't have a church to do this. This is my church right here. I got 6 people watching right now. Maybe you guys will get a fire up under your butts and do this kind of stuff. You know, we have to stand up for this. When people come, those were police officers, and that is in Canada. That is not under the United States Constitution. They're under the Canadian Constitution, which is way more liberal than what we are. But yet they have those laws there too, that they have freedom of religion, the same thing. And he knew it, and he tossed them out because they had no right to be in there. You have somebody coming to your place of business telling you to shut down because people aren't masking up. Get the hell out of my business. Get out of here. You have to stand up for like this, guys. You have to, because if not, it's going to be Nazi Germany all over again. It's going to be. We're headed in that direction because people think, I don't want to cause any trouble. I just want to go about my life and my business. No. No, we have to get riled up. We have to be like Jesus. What did Jesus do? He fashioned a whip, his own weapon. He made his own weapon. This pastor didn't have a weapon. His voice was his weapon, and it worked. That's how we have to be. You know, I don't for 1 minute condone or promote violence. That guy was not being violent. He was being vocal, and he was expressing his rights. Now, would he have gotten violent? I don't know. I have no idea. You know, but whatever he did worked, and he had the Lord behind him. I can guarantee you that. All right. So we got to stand up against this. We got to. I don't know what else I got on here. I think that's everything I got. My point is, for this whole this whole thing is a culmination of what that pastor did. Is that I don't care where you're at, right? I don't care if you're in a place of business and they tell you can't be in here without a mask. You have to be like him. You have to stand up. You know, you can't tell a person to get out their own business, but you can't say this is my right and you're discriminating against me. You are usurping my civil rights, and you will not do it, and go about your business. And then if you get arrested, so be it. Rosa Parks got arrested, but she started a movement. All right? She started a movement. She did it peacefully. She just simply wasn't giving up what was rightfully hers. And that's what I want to leave you with tonight. Until next week, we have stupid stuff that's going to happen, I'm sure. Be on the lookout. Guys, if you see a retarded tweet that I never saw, please send it to me so we can feature it on retarded tweets of the week, and we can discuss that, because there's a ton of them. I don't hang out on Twitter too much. I never could figure it out, you know. But there's got to be lots of retarded stuff going on there. I mean you can just follow AOC, and pretty much everything that she tweets out's retarded. So. But I want to give everybody else equal opportunity, you know, to have the retarded tweet of the week. But if you guys could do that, help me out with that. I'd really love to. That way, would you got another? You coming to have another thing? Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. So between now and next week, we're gonna have goofy stuff happen. I look forward to it, because I just, this is my time to just kind of voice my opinion, you know, and go on rants and do stuff, and you guys who sit here, and here's Josh. You see Josh Verhagen, come back to Nenana, no stupid mandates here. Well, yeah, that's the mayor of Nenana. He's the one that sets the standard there. Absolutely, man. You know, in fact, we're going to be coming through there next week, bro. So we're going to we're going up to Fairbanks for the week, and we're going to stop and visit you guys. you know, your brother ran for state rep. And when Paul Washer was saying about how when you run for office, that you'll be considered a lunatic and everything. I know he was, you know. Your whole denomination, dude, gets the shaft from the rest of the evangelicals, which is a damn shame. Because we're all in this thing together, you know. And but stand strong, you know. You're doing a good job up there, Josh. Really appreciate you, man, and love you. And I want to let's see. Yeah. All right. So, if you guys are watching tonight, all bunch of you that are watching, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you can share the button, if you hit the like button, that kind of, you know, gets it going in the algorithms a little bit more. I'm going to. I don't think you can. I don't know if you can share the actual live stream or not, but I did something different tonight. I recorded the show, and I'm going to upload it to rumble.com. If you guys don't have Rumble, you should get it. Rumble is the alternative to YouTube, and lots of good stuff out there. And you can follow me on there. I think it's Rock the World or Steve Duplantis. I can't remember which one it is, but I'll repost it later on after I upload this video. But I want to keep it to like an hour because, you know, a lot of people get bored and then just go away. But you know, thank you guys for watching. Love each and every one of you, and I want to pray for you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you. May He turn His countenance towards you and be gracious unto you. Grant you peace in Jesus' name, amen. And until next week, I love you, and you guys have an awesome week. See ya.